I'm Paul Frank. I'm a partner with PwC in the financial services practice where I serve property and casualty insurance clients, help them navigate the changes going on in this difficult financial environment. My career started out of Georgia Tech, where I had a master's in electrical engineering. And I then went on to work at the government dealing with technology projects. From there, I got to spend a couple years where I lived in Japan, and from there I returned eventually back to Carnegie Mellon and business school. Interesting story, in the first week of school, we were out at a social event. I saw a woman talking to a guy that I knew. I actually had tickets for a Pirates game that was coming up, so I walked over to both of them and said, "Are either of you Pirate fans?" She said yes. 2 years later, she said yes again. To the kids, as they were growing up, I went with the line of "Daddy helps companies." So as a partner in the financial services practice, I help clients come to agreement on how to invest their capital in technology, in change, and dealing with transformation, with changes in the consumer market, changes in the commercial markets. I help them to meet their needs. One of the things in this economy that students struggle with the most is trying to navigate which jobs are going to be there. When I went to school, it was really about to fill gaps that I knew existed in my repertoire. And in fact, it's more advantageous to students to think about what gaps they're going to be in the future, what's going to be important 3, 5, 7 years from now. We often help a lot of students think about where their career is going, what's important, what's going to be important. We try to round out our candidates to get a better understanding of the use of data and how it's going to play an important role in going forward. Tepper's focusing on those same issues. So it's important for students to come in and think really about the future and not so much about filling the gaps that they have now. Tepper's a very important school to PwC. Over the last several years, we've recruited hundreds and hundreds of students from Carnegie Mellon and specifically at Tepper. As an alumni who comes back to Tepper quite often to recruit, I'm constantly impressed by the quality of the students. You hear a lot of stories about other schools where people are competing with each other and willing to step on each other to get ahead, and Tepper's just not that way. It's the kind of culture that you really want to be in. So with all the uncertainty in the global economy, there's a lot of anxiety about jobs, about opportunities. One of the things that I try to tell them is there isn't a client that I work with who doesn't value a leader and horsepower more now than they ever have. Think of yourself as a tightrope walker. You're climbing up this ladder, and getting your MBA from Tepper is just another way to move the rope up as well as to move your net up. Take more risks and try not to worry so much about falling. That's the reason that we recruited Tepper. It's a program that consistently puts out team players who are willing to get the job done. At the end of the day, anybody who has an MBA from a top program is always going to be valued at any company.